Tape brought to you by Bud Light, the beer you can always trust. The number 4 favors Sarah Howell as she has the 4-year advantage and 4-inch height advantage over Ashley Deen. Deen has a half-inch advantage and a reach, while nearly 2 pounds separates the two. Let's find out which fighter leaves with a winning record as we go back inside the cage with Britt Salvert.
Here we go with our co-main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the Front Street Fights women's bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left, with a record of 1 win against 1 defeat. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 135.2 pounds. Fighting out of Pasco, Washington, proudly representing Wolfpack Fitness and MMA, please welcome Savage Sarah Howell. And fighting out of the red corner to my right, with an even record of 3 wins against 3 defeats, standing at 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 133.6 pounds, fighting out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, proudly representing Pariah MMA, please welcome Ashley Deen. Our referee when the action begins is Mr. Tom Subnet. Fighters instructions, please, Tom.
Okay, I expect you to follow my instructions at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Keep it clean, but let's keep it exciting. Touch them up. Good luck.
It is time for the co-main event of the evening in the women's bantamweight division. Ashley Deen, Sarah Howell. Who could leave with an advantage in the bantamweight division, potentially fighting for the first women's title belt?
Ashley Deen not having too much lateral movement. She's just kind of sitting right in the pocket. Sarah Howell's the one that actually has a lot more kind of in and out movement. Pretty good footwork. Oh, nice 1-2. Sarah Howell's doing a real good job kind of controlling, trying to always kind of march Ashley Deen down and kind of put her in the cage.
Showing a little flash, just battling for the center control of the cage. Sarah going for that overhand right. Again, Ashley being very patient, we've seen a couple times. Ducking the overhand attempt, coming in with the left-right combo. A lot of speed by both men. Sarah connecting with a good left right there. Connects with another left. There's a third left. Look at the speed and the hands there by Sarah Howell, able to connect, or stop those 2 or 3 jab attempts right there by Ashley Deen.
Yeah, she's doing a really good job, doing that parry with her hands, kind of that, circular motion. She's doing a really good job with that. She kind of seems like she's settling down a little bit more than kind of being a little bit frantic the first, minute, but she's got a nice little left there.
Both women in black trunks this evening. You see on the right leg of Ashley Deen, she's got some white lettering, some great fronts to the trunks. Does Sarah Howell, as we're just about halfway through round number 1 of tonight's co-main event.
I'm kind of surprised I'm not seeing much head movement, from either fighter. So, it's just like they're kind of just staying there. And if you notice Deen, her shoulders are really kind of just square, and she did a
Deen
really good
able
job.
to connect with good 3 or 4 shots right there.
But that's not necessarily like a bad thing. Maybe Deen, presumably, maybe she just feels really comfortable, like she doesn't have to move because she's felt Sarah's power and doesn't feel like she needs to do all that much movement. She wants to stay kind of right there in the pocket and throw some bombs.
Right elbow to the top of Sarah Howell's head. Of course, that legal once we get up into the pro ranks.
Yeah. Not a lot of kicks right now, so. Sarah Howell, if she implemented some kicks on Deen, they'd be ripe for it because, like I said, Deen's not really doing a lot of movement, so.
You can see the absolute focus on the face of the Ashley Deen. Sarah Howell trying to figure out, she may have just done it as both women trade jabs back and forth. Hard jabs by both women connecting to the chins. Both of these women rocking each other right now. It is an absolute slugfest. Sarah barely missing with an overhand right. Ashley connecting with a right and left. One minute left in round number one as things have settled back down a little bit after an exciting flurry there of about 15, 20 seconds between Howell and Deen, both throwing some heavy bombs there, both connecting, but both able to
nice head and arm throw. Oh! What you saw there was Sarah Howell tried to throw a head and arm and then got reversed really quickly because what happened was she didn't stop the momentum and Deen took advantage of that and just rolled right on top and did none of the work and took all the credit.
Hate when it happens. Two late exciting flurries as we enter the final 15 seconds of round number one in what was, for the most part, a pretty slow and steady methodical pace by both women in this first round.
Yeah, what I was surprised is you didn't see any shot attempts, so we'll see if they kind of mix that up,
Sarah Howell throw example of late hammer fist there to the side of Deen's face. Again, a lot of strategic fighting we've seen throughout the night. We were seeing it again there until the strikes we'll see here in a few minutes on the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. And it just out of nowhere, this slugfest erupted.
Yeah, this was a great exchange. You just saw both kind of giving their all and
what is funny is at any moment, both of them landed a punch that could have taken that fight. And again, they're throwing them, but at the same time, usually in a flurry like that, it's somewhat one-sided, but this was just literally an absolute slugfest. And then here you mentioned it, the takedown that Sarah was going for.
Yeah, here's a head and arm, and then what happens is Deen rolls right through, boom. And so, she didn't stop the momentum, and Deen capitalized for sure. That was a really good capitalization on Deen's part. And what a way to end the round, put a stamp for the judges, because that was a really close round. That could have actually stole the round for Deen.
Referee Tom Sumner doing a good job of letting both fighters fight through, again, that slugfest. The ground attack we saw there by both women, really making sure that the fighters were on point, wanting to continue this fight and make sure that they're both able to, which, again, that's slugfest. As you can see at the top right corner of the screen, if you want to follow along on social media, #slugfest. It was literally just that.
Deen attempting a head kick, so now he's starting to implement, so now look, both ladies are starting to throw kicks and we'll
great job by Sarah there of holding on to that kick and trying to get a couple of punches in.
We'll see if they kind of mix up some takedowns as well. But definitely using that weapon in the arsenal is that, adding in the kicks and giving different looks. I mean, you saw last fight with Nino, doing those fake shots. Even a fake shot, that's a form of head movement, and that worked for him. You see Sarah Howell already shook her arms out. She dropped her hands and kind of shook her arms, and that just means that blood is in her shoulders and in her biceps, So because she's kind of keeping a really good kind of traditional, fundamental high guard, with her hands and doing those parries, and those are really working for her.
Both women playing a little game of anything you can do, I can do better. We've seen a couple step-ins to left and right jabs there Seems like as soon as one woman throws something, the other woman counters back with pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Good
Now
running right there by Sarah Howell.
See, and that's exactly what I was talking about. She should have capitalized with closing the distance and getting a shot off of that because you know, once Deen's shoulders hit that cage, she was kind of, you know, caught unaware for a split second, you know, and that's just, you know, she needs to just add those in.
Sarah Howell doing a good job of staying on top of Ashley Deen, following up the momentum. Is connected with about 4 or 5 shots right now, but again, both women can dish it out and both women can take it.
The only thing I'm seeing that, other than those takedowns, is Sarah Howell really, you know, has an opportunity to throw an uppercut at the end of those flurries. So if she's not going to do a takedown, you know, not going to do a kick, she should really, you know, try an uppercut because that's I'm seeing that opening. But thus far, Deen doesn't really have an answer when she gets kind of ran at and you know, charged at and with those flurries of punches. She doesn't really have, she's not stepping off to the side, and she really just needs to deflect that out.
Oh!
That wobbled her.
That leg kick to the top of Ashley Deen. That
Followed up.
Is this going to be enough? Ashley Deen running for her life. She counters with 2 hard shots. She's ducking. She's running. Sarah Howell is relentless. She is not giving up.
What a great exchange.
We can almost call that hashtag Slugfest Part 2, the sequel.
It's part due.
I know, that's amazing effort there by Sarah Howell. The leg kick is what started it, and again, as you've seen most of this round, as soon as she throws something, does a really good job at follow-up and staying on top of it, not allowing a lot of room for Ashley Deen, and Deen doing a great job of withstanding a bombardment right there and somehow surviving that onslaught.
And now her mouth is like wide open, you know, her jaw's wide open, and that makes fighters a lot more susceptible to, you know, getting those knockouts when you hit the button, get hit on the button.
Oh, another tough left
Just a
jab.
stiff jab.
Sarah Howell has found her comfort level. She is waiting to set it up. She wants it.
If she weren't so fixated on punching, you know, it's just like add that shot and add that fake shot, add that feint, add that leg kick, and then set up with those, because her punches are working. But if she just had a little setup, she would probably have a little bit more success.
Howell going for the front kick to push Deen back a little bit, following it up with the left and a right, barely connecting.
There, now you see her head movement. Look, let's see what happens.
.25 seconds left of round number 2 of tonight's co-main event of Front Street Fights 15. Hempelman versus Morales, presented by bodybuilding.com.
Nice liver kick.
You see the flurry coming from both women trying to finish round number 2 strong. Another great back and forth action. As you see this crowd, near capacity crowd, starting to come alive there. Sarah raising her hand. She's got the full confidence right now, and why should she not after that round?
Yeah, you know, she had an impressive round. She did some really good things. You know, she had a lot of success running Deen down.
As we go to the Project Filter replay, brought to you by Project Filter, you decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org.
Watch at the end, though. You know, the ample opportunity for A, an uppercut, or B, a takedown. Level change.
And this is, you know, the onslaught. Sarah Howell relentless in her pursuit of Ashley Deen after connecting with the head kick. But the amount, as you see right here, the kick to the head's coming. This onslaught by Sarah Howell.
She did a really great job. She did a really great job keeping her on the outside and on the flick of her punches at the very end of that whip.
Well,
and she
and
did a great
somehow
job.
Ashley withstanding all of that and not giving up, not falling down. I almost left speechless. I don't know how she did that.
I'm glad you said that, because I forgot to kind of mention that. It's like, you cannot put this, and I don't want to say cannot, but, you know, she just has an iron chin.
She does, and we've seen it before here in different fights where, unfortunately, some fighters do have a glass chin. And about 35 of those 95 punches in the last 2 rounds would have taken, well, definitely me out. It would have taken 1 punch.
Oh, yeah.
Third and final round of our co-main event tonight between Sarah Howell and Ashley Deen. This one so far has been an absolute war.
Man, and you know, if you're looking at the scorecards, obviously that last round, you know, if
Absolutely,
you're kind of trying to score this yourself, I would give that to Sarah. But then the first round, you know, is really equal. And then once again, that takedown at the very end that Deen capitalized on, you have to think, okay, that's that last 20 seconds of the round. That's what the judges saw. And if it's equals, man, you know, you got to give that, you know, that takedown point to Deen, even though she just kind of capitalized on the mistake.
Ashley Deen, no stranger to split decisions. Again, as we mentioned, in the pro debut of Vida Ortega, she loses by split decision. Actually, both of her losses, 2 of 3 losses, have come by split decision. So you can tell she's a fighter that can dish it out and also take it and try to figure it out.
There's that running, punching thing, and the only thing I can call that, you know, because it's not really a technique, it's more of a style, is you know, when Vanderlei Silva did that, I forget what UFC it was, but it was, you know, one of the earlies, like maybe even 21 or something, and he ran down, he just charged down, and not Vanderlei, that was Vitor Belfort did that, and I think it was against Vanderlei, but I know for a fact it was Vitor back in the days when he was on the bombas, on the juice.
Sarah Howell trying to switch it up and get the head kick with the right leg this time, giving her something new to think about. And where is that leg kick, that head kick going to come into play later on the round should this fight continue?
Exactly.
She's got to think about it now, coming from both angles.
Ashley did a nice job with the right leg kick. There's a teep kick, little, actually it was a front kick, but, you know, just doing really good doing that.
Sarah Howell looking for that Superman punch. Yeah. Besides the liver kick, I think that has been the most attempted move tonight.
Yeah.
Halfway between the start of round number 3 and the end of round number 3. I don't know where I was going with that one, but
just say in the middle.
In the middle. I could have. Math is a very hard subject for me.
Oh, nice
overhand right by Sarah Howell.
But Deen did a really good job. I mean, you could barely see it, but she kind of rolled with the punch. It was a lot more of kind of a superficial scrape with the glove, you know. But it got deep, that deep penetration with that, you know, through Deen's guard, you know.
We've reached the 2-minute warning of our co-main event tonight, third and a final round. Does this one make it to the judges, or are we going to see another flurry, or is that one final punch or one final kick going to come from either of these women to take home the W?
I don't know, man. I don't think you can put away, you know, Deen and you know, I haven't seen.
Oh, another right kick.
Howell hasn't got stunned once this fight, so you know, I think it's just going to be a slugfest. Trey.
This should be part 3, yeah.
Yeah, Trey with a S silent. Oh, that was a nice jab.
One minute remaining in round number 3 of tonight's co-main event. Sarah Howell, Ashley Deen have put on an absolutely athletic display as Sarah Howell lands another overhand right, capable of those big bombs, and she's landed them several times tonight. 40 seconds left. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This one is gonna get exciting. The pace is picking up.
Nice.
The crowd is chanting, Sarah, there's that left jab. This one is done. We wondered, would we finish it or would we see the knockout punch? Sarah Howell gets it with 35 seconds left. You heard the crowd chanting, Sarah, Sarah, she delivered. Sarah Howell knocks out Ashley Deen.
That was unbelievable. And like I said, I don't want to say cannot. I mean, I didn't think you could put this, you know, Sarah.
Well, you had every reason to say that. I mean, you look at the first 2 rounds, slugfest in round number 1, slugfest the sequel in round number 2. We were on the verge of seeing slugfest to complete the trifecta tonight, or put it in hockey terms, the hat trick, but My God, that overhand left. You'd seen her throw it several times throughout the night, and each time she threw that overhand right was becoming more and more effective, switches it up and throws the left. And you can still see Ashley Deen very wobbly right now.
That second round, she kind of lost the power. She kind of lost some of her power. And that power came back in that third round.
As we go to the Project Filter replay, brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. Wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. Here it comes. There it is. There she goes. That was all she wrote. Let's take another look at that. It's just impressive.
Imagine if that cage wasn't there. Imagine what that would have looked like.
I don't want to even.
Watch it.
As you saw Sarah Howell's victorious moment, great shot inside the cage. Sarah Howell celebrating with her daughter there. Just an awesome moment, and what an awesome fight. And, if you want me to vote, obviously we got one more fight to go, but right now this has my vote for fight of the night, no questions asked.
Man, it was definitely very equal and just razors thin. I didn't know what if it went to a decision, I didn't know who would make it.
Well, let's make this one official as we go back inside the cage with Britt Talbert.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the particulars, we want to remind you that last fight was brought to you by Drug Shield, the top contender in the Treasure Valley's drug screening services since 2003. For more information, call them at 353-0291 or visit drugshield.com. And before we get to the particulars, leave it up to the ladies to entertain you guys tonight or what? They came in here and put on a tremendous show. Here we go. At 4:34 of the third and final round, we have a winner by way of knockout, fighting out of the blue corner, Savage Sarah Howell. Get a few words here. We've got our swag bag from our friends at bodybuilding.com for our winner, Sarah Howell. And Sarah, just a couple quick things. You came straight ahead the whole fight. Was that part of your plan, was to come right at Ashley the whole fight?
Yeah, I don't like to go backward. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been working my angles and my movement and trying to get out of the habit of going straight back. And I still found myself doing it a little bit, but it worked when I worked my angles and moved forward.
First time up here for Front Street Fights. How did the production treat you and your team this week?
Oh, this was awesome. The most professional production I've been with. So I really appreciate that. Thank you to the staff. Thank you to my family, my baby girl, my training partners, my coaches, and all of my sponsors. I really appreciate it, and I couldn't do it without any of you.
Last question. What is next then for Savage Sarah Hall? What's next?
I'm going to get a beer.
Sounds like a plan. She's going to go get a beer. Savage Sarah Howell, your winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Honesty is always the best policy, and spoiler alert, I don't think Sarah Howell's going to be the only one enjoying an ice cold brew after this win tonight. Congratulations to Sarah Howell on a very, very impressive victory that will go a long way in her career over Ashley Deen. Well, as we go to the St. Luke's locker room cam, it is almost